It's been a while since we talked about Rodin AI, and honestly, in AI time, that's basically a different era. This stuff moves ridiculously fast, like every couple of months, the quality jump is noticeable. Back then, AI-generated 3D felt kind of experimental, but now they are on version 2.5, and I got the chance to test it this week, and there are some massive improvements. The mesh generation is faster, there are different quality modes now, the detail is way higher, textures are much better, and there are a bunch of workflow features that actually make it feel much more usable. Now, obviously there is a big elephant in the room. AI in art is still really a controversial topic, and understandably so. Personally, I think image to 3D tools sit in a slightly different place compared to image generators, mostly because these are generating actual 3D assets that still might need cleanup, editing, retopology, integration into different workflows, and all those stuff. I don't really see this as press a button, replace artists, but I do think these tools are becoming genuinely useful for ideation, prototyping, background assets, kit bashing, and speeding up certain parts of the workflow. So with this out of the way, let's see what Rodin 2.5 can actually do. The main thing this update introduces is the controllable generation. Basically, instead of having one default mode, you can decide how much time and effort the AI spends generating the model. So you can go with something super fast for quick concepts and iteration, or crank it up for much higher detailed geometry and better surface quality. There are 5 generation modes, from extreme low to extreme high, depending on your need. The higher presets can achieve so many details, like different surface details in the skin and the face, so you can generate up to 1 million triangles in a matter of seconds. Another great addition in version 2.5 is the improved Smart Low Poly mode, which is probably gonna matter a lot for actual 3D workflows. Because yeah, generating a super dense mesh is cool, but in a real production, you actually want something cleaner and easier to work with. So Rodin is now trying to generate more optimized topology with both quad and triangle support, depending on what you need. And obviously, it is still AI-generated topology, so don't expect perfect, handmade-like retopology. But compared to older AI 3D tools, the meshes are definitely becoming a lot more usable for things like game assets, blackouts, background props, and general iteration workflows. Alright, so let's actually test the different generation modes, because this is basically the biggest feature in version 2.5. I'm gonna try to use the same character and generate it across multiple settings to see how much of a difference the extra generation time actually makes. Starting with Extreme Low, which is the fastest mode and takes only around 4 seconds. Then we will jump to Medium, and finally Extreme High, where the model spends way longer time generating, but it is supposed to produce much more detailed geometry and surface information. This is the Extreme Low mode, which according to Rodin can generate a model in just a few seconds. You can choose up to 10x batch generations here, which will take the same time, 4 seconds. You can load your own reference or generate a picture, but I think this is way more useful if you have your assets sketched out or photographed, preferably from multiple angles. Now, let's jump all the way to the other end of the spectrum with Extreme High. This one takes significantly longer time to generate, so it is definitely not something you use when you are just throwing ideas around or experimenting with different concepts. So let's see how different these results actually look side by side. But don't worry too much about the actual character here, since it is basically just acting as a placeholder protagonist. What's more interesting is the overall quality of the generation itself. Like, if you look at the proportions, the limbs, the fingers, even the clothing details, the result is honestly really impressive, especially on the extreme high setting. And you can definitely tell the model is spending more time understanding the shapes and surface details compared to the faster modes. There is a lot more definition in the clothing. The overall proportions feel more defined, and smaller details that were missing in faster modes start showing up throughout the model. So while I probably wouldn't use this setting for everyday generation, I can definitely see it being useful for those final hero assets where you want as much detail as possible. However, there is a small issue. The topology is still pretty messy, especially on these higher detail generations. which honestly is expected, but that's where the new Smart Low Poly mode comes in. Instead of focusing purely on detail, this mode tries to generate a cleaner and more optimized topology, which is easier to actually work with inside a real 3D pipeline. And honestly, I cannot believe how good the topology is. It does take a few minutes to generate, but the result is absolutely worth it. I mean, just look at these clean quads. If you're making a 2D game, a top-down shooter, or even a low-poly 3D game, I could see this working really well. But then again, if you are a game developer yourself, let me know what you think. Another area that saw a pretty big improvement is texturing. In my tests, the textures were a lot more consistent than what I remember from older versions, especially when rotating the model around and looking at it from different angles. Rodin now supports texture generation of up to 12K resolution, which is honestly kinda crazy. Most projects probably won't need textures that large, but maybe for close-up renders, cinematics, or hero assets, having this resolution might help to achieve that level of detail. And while we are on the subject of improvement, another feature is bank to parts. So instead of treating the generated model as a single object, Rodin can automatically split it into separate pieces that can then be refined individually. I can see this being especially useful for things like 3D printing, toy design, animation workflows, or any project where you need more control over specific parts of a model, without having to regenerate the whole thing. One quick tip though, if you import these meshes into Blender, definitely run merge by distance or remove doubles first. Now, is this gonna replace 3D artists? Personally, I don't really think so. There is still a massive difference between generating a mesh and actually building a polished, production-ready asset. You still need cleanup, art direction, retopology, material work, scene integration, animation prep, and all those good stuff. But as a tool for concepting, prototyping, background assets, kit bashing, or just speeding up parts of the workflow, I can definitely see tools like this becoming more common moving forward. So if you would like to try Rodin for yourself, check out the link in the description and use the code ITRodinGen25 for a free 14-day trial. And let me know what you think of these new generation modes and the overall quality improvements. Besides Rodin, Hyper3D also offers other tools like Chat Avatar for Face to 3D, Image to Video, in addition to other things. And there you have it guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.